Okay, let's just start with this. Everything I do in life, it sucks. Wild, right? That's a direct quote from a guy many consider to be one of the toughest human beings on the planet. And yeah, it's a strange place to begin, but trust me, it is the absolute key to understanding him. So that quote, it's from David Goggins. And today, we're going to dive deep into his, let's just call it brutal philosophy. But we're not just going to talk about mindset. We're going to explore the surprising neuroscience that shows why his method for building just immense inner strength, well, why it actually works.
First off, you have to understand the myth of David Goggins. This is the guy the world sees, his highlight reel. A retired Navy SEAL, an Army Ranger graduate, an ultramarathon runner who does races over 200 miles long. He's an inductee in the International Sports Hall of Fame, a Guinness World Record holder for pull-ups, and a best-selling author. I mean, by any measure, the guy is a superhuman specimen. But that's not the real story. Not even close.
Because the man behind that myth, he describes himself in completely opposite terms. He says he's not genetically gifted, he's from the bottom of the barrel. He's not super motivated, he's lazy by nature. He's not unbreakable, he's haunted by the person he used to be. And he is not a natural learner, he's someone who has struggled his entire life with severe ADD.
This strength of his, it wasn't a gift. Goggins makes it painfully clear this wasn't something he was born with. It was forged from absolute zero, built one painful brick at a time, from rock bottom.
So how in the world did he do it? Well, the first thing he just throws right out the window is our modern obsession with passion. He argues that waiting around to feel passionate about something is just a trap. I mean, for him, there was no passion to be found when he weighed nearly 300 pounds and was struggling to read.
And next on the chopping block, motivation. He calls it fleeting, totally unreliable. It's a feeling you just can't count on when things get truly, truly difficult. He says all those words, passion, motivation, even discipline, they're just so overused they've basically lost all meaning. Okay, so if you strip away passion and you strip away motivation, what's even left? For Goggins, the answer is brutally simple. You just do it. Action is completely non-negotiable. It doesn't matter how you feel, what the weather is doing, or what excuses your brain is cooking up. You just do.
And this is where we see his engine. See, most of us are driven by the carrot, right? The reward at the end. Goggins is driven entirely by the stick. He's not running toward a prize. He is running away from the person he once was. He uses the word haunted to describe this feeling, a constant pressure that never, ever lets up. And that brings us to the core mechanism of his whole method. It's the belief that deliberately seeking out difficulty, seeking out friction, and doing things that suck, well, that's the only real path to growth. It's not about tolerating friction when it happens to you. It's about actively going out and pursuing it.
But here's the big question. Is this all just a tough guy mindset, or is there something biological actually happening in the brain that validates this whole approach? Well, as it turns out, neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has an answer. Huberman points this one specific part of the brain. It's called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, or AMCC for short, and you can basically think of it as your brain's willpower muscle. What's incredible is that science is showing this area can physically grow. It gets bigger, but only when you intentionally do things you genuinely do not want to do.
And the effect here is direct and it's measurable. When you force yourself to do something you hate, your AMC grows. When you consistently avoid hard things, it literally shrinks. Studies have shown this area is larger in elite athletes who are always pushing through pain, and it's smaller in people who are obese and sedentary. So this is the biological proof behind that idea that friction is growth. Willpower isn't just a feeling. It's a physical structure in your brain that you can either build up or you can let waste away.
So all that neuroscience translates into a process that sounds like it came straight from Goggins himself. The hack to building this critical brain region is unbelievably simple. Step 1, find something you truly don't want to do. Step 2, do it anyway. So where do you even begin? Goggins says it all starts with radical honesty. He calls this looking in the accountability mirror, a brutal, unflinching assessment of who you really are with no lies and no excuses. His point is, your life doesn't truly begin until you have that honest conversation. The moment you finally stop hiding from your insecurities, your fears, and your weaknesses, that is day one. That's when the real work can actually start. And why does this matter so much? Because Goggins believes that most people are walking around with 75% of their true potential still chained up inside of them. And why? Simply because they refuse to have that one hard, honest conversation with themselves in the mirror. And this all comes back to his iconic catchphrase, stay hard. He says this isn't about being a tough guy. It's a strategy. It's a strategy for survival and for excellence, especially for those who feel like they started at the bottom, the ones who weren't given the natural gifts. For them, relentless effort isn't just an option. It is the only path forward.
And so that leaves us with one final, provocative thought. If the truth is the starting line, and the only way to grow is to do what you don't want to do, what truth are you avoiding right now?